Hi, my name is Angela Clark and I'm an educator for APQS. Today we're going to talk about tension, all the different kinds of tension that are involved in long arm quilting. And I have I have played with my tension, so it is not going to be pretty right now. So I'm going to turn my long arm on and try to stitch. Okay. And she is trying to stitch for me, but what I'm seeing is I'm flatlining right here, and it's kind of hard to tell, but you have no stitch definition at all right there. So it's not breaking. If I tighten it just a little bit more, it should break for us because it's really tight. Well, now you can see the thread coming up to the top because we're using white thread. So right now the tension on the top is way, way, way too tight. If you rub your hands across it, you can actually feel the thread. So I need to loosen my tension because if I keep trying to quilt this way, it is going to eventually break and it just doesn't look right. It's going to pucker when it comes off the quilt because it's too tight. Okay, so the reason that I know the tension is not right, if you look at my tension disc, this little knob is screwed all the way in to my tension disc. So I can maybe get it 2 more turns to go until it is completely up against the side of the machine. Your tension should never have to be there. That little knob should never have to be that close. So when you have been playing with your tension, the first thing you're going to do is take your bobbin out because we're going to want to make sure our bobbin tension is right first, and then you don't have to play for it again. See how tight it is, guys? It's really tight. Okay. So I'm going to look at my bobbin tent and take it out, and I'm going to put it in my hand. There's a range that you can have good tension in on your bobbin, and it goes from being very loose to very tight, right? So this bobbin is tight, right? You can see me kind of bouncing it to get the bobbin to kind of spider crawl down the thread. So it is set tight. You can also do it by holding it in your hand, and a lot of people only want it tight enough that they can have their bobbin come to a tension, but it won't lift up off their hand. So right now, this would be on the tight end of tension, which is fine. You can also balance to the loose end of tension, but whatever your bobbin is set to, your top has to be set to as well. So right now, the bobbin is tight. It's still flowing really well, so I should be able to balance my tension with the bobbin where it is right now. And so I'm going to put my bobbin back in because I know that it's right. Now I don't have to play with my bobbin again. I know my bobbin is within a range that I should be able to get good tension on. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I know my tension's too tight. Typically on APQS machines, if you look at your little tensioner, the split shaft should be equal to, or close to equal to the knob. So I'm going to unscrew this many, many times because I screwed it way in there to get it to mess up for me. And I'm going to start out by unscrewing it and getting these to where they're kind of flush, right? So I can feel the little split shaft, but it's not really sticking out from my tension disc. That's where I'm going to start trying to balance my tension and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my bobbin thread back up to the top. Right? And you can see that you can actually see stitch definition now. You can see the individual stitches, whereas this one just looks like a line of thread. That's going to be pretty good tension. So here's the thing, guys. It's really hard to get the tension off. Most of the time, if your tension is way off on your quilt, it's not threaded right. It's not typically going to be that you don't have the bottom and the top adjusted so that they're pulling at the same force. It's usually that it's not threaded right. So if you take more than 10 minutes to balance your tension, you might want to phone a friend and have like the APQS service team or your local dealer walk you through tension because you've added another form of tension into the equation and we need to get that tension out of there so we can help you balance your tension on your long arm.